What is the future of ISIS influence in Pakistan? I'm Cambry Murray, and today we're going to cover how Pakistan's future may be affected by ISIS and why you should care. You may have heard of ISIS, but do you know what they stand for? The Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, sometimes referred to simply as the Islamic State, is an extremist group that fights for religious authority over all branches of the Muslim religion. In their attempts to cleanse the world of those people that live outside the religious laws of the Sunni Muslim sect, they've been known for their public executions, bombings, and attacks on other Muslims and those of other religions as they enforce Sharia law. Found in the Quran, Sharia law was established in 8th century Islam and outlines what are deemed as correct Islamic behaviors. Following the Prophet Muhammad's death, a debate over his rightful successor created a divide and eventually led to Islam separating into two main sects, the Shia and Sunni Muslims. Through the years, some of their core rituals and interpretations of what correct Islamic law is have differed drastically and led to intense religious contention between the two. For years, ISIS has used repulsive, destructive, and lethal means to punish or exterminate those they see as heretics. The Islamic State consistently attacks Shia Muslims as well as those from various religions throughout the world. Though ISIS was first established in Iraq and Syria, in 2015, the Islamic State announced its intentions of expanding through multiple countries in the Middle East, including Pakistan. This brings us to our next topic. If ISIS is as despicable as people say it is, do we really need to worry about Pakistan embracing them? The short answer here is yes. With the religious contention that has haunted Pakistan's history, it comes as no surprise that some of the people of Pakistan have become committed already to the Islamic State's cause. Flags, graffiti, and pamphlets supporting ISIS have been found and luckily confiscated in several large cities in Pakistan. Despite Pakistan's Federal Interior Minister Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan's public statement in 2014 that ISIS influence was not present within Pakistan, a media report soon after reported that over 12,000 Pakistani people had already been recruited to ISIS. In the last several years, multiple claims that Pakistan is not affiliated with ISIS have been made, but just too much Islamic State activity has occurred there or near Pakistan with their support of militant groups for us to ignore. With years for the Islamic State's potential influence to be growing in the already war-filled, religiously heated country, we should absolutely worry about Pakistan's future with ISIS influence. The core concern here is that Islamic State beliefs are likely to continue to expand throughout Pakistan and be fueled by the already existing religious friction and bloodshed that consistently plagues the country. Over 200 religious organizations with varying agendas operate in Pakistan, both on the regional and national levels. Some of the active goals of these organizations are to establish an overarching Muslim ruler in a caliphate, to enforce Islamic Sharia law, and to change society based on what they deem as acceptable religious ideologies. Pakistan has consistently shown that these organizations have zero hesitation to use military action in order to bring about change. Pakistan already has several extremist groups that share the belief that true change can't be made politically or with nonviolence, but requires armed revolt and extreme, often dangerous methods to achieve their goals. There's growing concern that ISIS ideology simply provides inspiration to the many extremist groups that already exist among the government and military officials in Pakistan. If ISIS is an established, powerful, highly financed group that's already fighting for the goals of certain Pakistani militant groups, why not join them? ISIS is highly likely to gain strength in Pakistan because so many militant organizations in the country have the same goals as ISIS: to enforce Sharia law. As a country with so much poverty and religious contention, Pakistan is the perfect place for ISIS to establish more of their schools where children have been trained as military combatants and future suicide bombers. With government corruption and current Taliban influence, there are just too many children clawing for a chance to send money to their families and to have a, quote, godly purpose, unquote, to fight for. The Islamic State's consistent manipulation of young people to kill and attack others in the name of God should concern us all. With a government that historically has embraced violent means by adults and children to bring about religious control, none of us should be surprised when Pakistan is overrun with ISIS sympathizers. Though Pakistani government officials claim to not be involved with the Islamic State, it is clear that the danger of ISIS expansion throughout Pakistan should not be written off. There are too many commonalities and historical situations through Pakistan and their leaders that make it easy to believe that ISIS would thrive in the future. ISIS influence in Pakistan today, and no doubt their continued influence in Pakistan in the future, affects every country. It affects every person. It affects you. Thank you for listening to this screencast, and thank you for doing your part to stay informed.